everybody. So if you click this, you are probably feeling lost, you're feeling left behind, you feel like opportunities are passing you up, you just feel stuck in the season you're in. And I'm here to tell you that you're not stuck, you're not lost behind, you're not missing out on anything, because 9 times out of 10, God is preparing you for something bigger. My name is El-Amin. I am the host of the podcast, Literally My Life, My Guide to Girlhood, and the host of the talk show, The El-Amin Show. And I'm here to give you all the big sister advice, give you all of the unfiltered truths, give you everything you basically need to know about surviving your adolescent years from somebody who has lived a lot of life by 17. So, today, I never sit down and make YouTube videos like this, ever. I literally never do this. Most of the time on YouTube, I'm either uploading the show or the podcast. I never just sit down and say, let me make a YouTube video. But I wanted to, the Holy Spirit, I feel like, just led me to make a video. And this topic really stuck out to me, and I wanted to make a video on it because I know I have really, really experienced this. So if you're new to this channel, then you don't know that last year, the whole reason I started the podcast in this channel and the talk show was because last year, my junior year of high school, I had a horrible flare-up from sarcoidosis, which I was diagnosed with last year, and was left unable to walk, to talk, to eat. I could not go to school. I felt very behind. I was in so much physical pain, like living felt like a chore. I could not do anything. I could not shower. I could not use the bathroom. I could not stand up and brush my teeth. I used to lay in this right bed behind me and rot all day. I could not do anything. And as I was progressively getting worse, I just remember feeling so left behind. I remember I would cry. I would cry to my mother. I would cry to my father. I would cry to the nurses. I would cry to everybody and just say, I'm missing out. I'm supposed to be prepping for the SAT. I'm supposed to be getting ready to apply to scholarships. I'm going to be behind. I'm not going to get into any kind of college. I'm not going to get in any kind of scholarship. I'm behind most of my peers. At the time, the year before that, I was on my school's cheerleading team. I couldn't cheer for other reasons as well, but I also couldn't cheer because of my disability. It was a lot for me. It was really a lot for me. And I just felt so behind. And I would cry about that. Like, I would break down crying about that in the hospital. And it was very devastating to me, the fact that I had missed my junior year in person. I was just like, wow, like, I've missed out on so much. I feel so stuck. I feel so lost. I feel so behind. Everybody's going to school in person. Everybody's taking AP classes. Everybody's taking the SAT and getting these high scores. And I'm learning how to walk again. Like, are you serious? Like, are you for real right now? And so I understand exactly how you feel. I know exactly how you feel. I have been there before. So I understand that feeling of feeling lost, of feeling stuck, of feeling behind. But this is the thing. You're not lost. You're not stuck. You're not behind. Because 9 times out of 10, like I said, God is preparing you for something greater. Now, when this was happening to me, I had no idea that this was a part of God's bigger plan for me. The reality is, I wasn't even religious. The reality is, I didn't really even pray like that. That's the reality. So I had no idea that I had to go through this pain for there to be something beautiful on the other side of it. I had no idea there was purpose in this pain. I thought I was just suffering for who knows what reason. I didn't know. I just thought I was going to suffer. But shortly after I started my outpatient recovery in January 2024, God called me to start a podcast. I had never even really thought about starting a podcast. The reality is, I only listened to a few podcasts. I wasn't even that experienced when it came to podcasting. And so I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm going to start this podcast, right? And I started a podcast called Literally My Life, My Guide to Girlhood, just for fun. Like, I was not trying to get no amount of views from it, no amount of listens. I wasn't trying to get it to go viral. It was literally just to get on a mic every week for 30 minutes and vent about my life because I was bored. I was at home. I wasn't doing anything. So I was like, let me just find something to do. When I tell you guys, this podcast, the numbers immediately skyrocketed. And I just remember being shocked. I was like, oh, are you for real? And I was just sitting there talking about subjects I didn't think anybody really cared about. I was talking about therapy. I'm talking about female friendships. I'm talking about your first kiss, your first card, all kinds of stuff. I'm not thinking nobody's really going to take me seriously because who am I? Like most people who start podcasts are already influencers or public figures themselves. I'm nobody. I'm just a regular smuggler girl from Chicago. So I'm like, nobody's going to listen to my podcast. But the numbers skyrocketed. And I'm sharing my experiences, my very vulnerable experiences on this mic every week. And what was crazy was how many people started to reach out to me. So let me get into that. So a couple of months after I start this podcast, I decided to start social media accounts for the podcast. So in May 2024, I start a TikTok and an Instagram for the podcast. Now the TikTok immediately does very well and I gain a lot of followers, a lot of traction. But like I said, I'm not really in this for the likes and the clicks and the views. I'm really here to help people. And so many people would come in my DMs and tell me like, oh, you know what? I've been through something very similar to what you've been through. I understand what you mean. Or you've helped me so much. I've struggled with my physical and my mental health before. Or I struggle with making friends myself. Or I struggle with confidence. And you spoke exactly what I said to a T. And I was like, oh my goodness. And it was people like I didn't even know, people who I couldn't even believe they knew who I was. Like they loved what I was saying. Like I was in a way preaching to them. And it felt so good to be able to help people, to like help people feel like their story isn't unique. Although it is, it's like you have somebody you can relate to because there's me and I've been through it. I went through the storm. I went through it and I got through it. And if I can get through it, you can get through it. And I just wanted to give advice for that. Now, none of this would have ever happened had I not gotten sick. But God wasn't even done there. He said, girl, I have something else for you that you don't even know. Now, in August 2024, God called me to go interview somebody, a sports person that I kind of know but not really know, that lives in Illinois as well. God called me to go interview them. Now, I'm like, why would God call me to go interview a football player? I don't know nothing about football because the realty is I didn't grow up liking sports. I don't really know anything about sports. It wasn't really my thing growing up. So, nevertheless, it took some challenges, but by October 2024, I was able to get this interview with this person. The interview immediately goes viral, it skyrockets, it does well. So, I go from, just learning about football to being a respected, well, that might be that might be a strong adjective, but being a sports journalist. And all of a sudden, I'm Googling who can I interview in the Illinois area that is ESPN ranked, or not even ESPN ranked, but just like a good football player that needs their story to be told. And then football season ends, and I transition into basketball, and I'm doing it for basketball. And I love it. And this is coming from a girl who did not like, she used to beg her dad to turn off ESPN on Sunday. And I immediately just become in love with this career. And it's insane because when I tell you, if you went back 5 years ago and asked me what I thought I was going to be when I grew up, it would have never ever been a sports journalist. It would have never ever been a podcaster. It would have never ever been a social media influencer. It would have never been none of that. It would have been something completely different. I think I wanted to be, well, I still want to go into law, get my law degree, but I would have been like serious about being a lawyer. This would have been crazy to me. But that's the reason. But that's how it is. Like God will put something so unexpected in your face and you say, oh, that's not for me. I don't usually like those things or whatever. But it's really for you. Like it is your calling, it's your purpose, it's your destiny. Now I tell you guys this story, I tell you guys my testimony to tell you guys that none of that would have been possible had I not gone through the storm. None of that would have been possible had I not gone through the pain. Now, when it was happening, when I was sick, when I couldn't talk, when I couldn't eat, when all of that was happening, I thought I was behind. I thought, everything was horrible. I thought nothing was going to work out for me. And the truth is, I thought I was going to die from my illness. But God had other plans for me. My doctors literally told my parents, your daughter does not even have it through this weekend. Your daughter is going to pass away. But God had other plans for me. And not only did He let me get through the storm, but He gave me a platform to tell people how not only I'm going to get through the storm, but how God is going to get you through the storm. And now it has become my calling to share my testimony with people. And like I said, none of that would have been possible had God not kept His hands on me, had I not gone through the storm. So if you are going through something right now, and it doesn't have to be health problems, it could be a relationship's not working out. It could be they've trying you at school. It could be you're failing. It could be you just got fired. Something. You could be going through something right now and you might feel like it is the end of the world, because the Lord knows I really, really thought it was the end of the world when I got sick. Let me tell you, 9 times out of 10, God is preparing you for something bigger. Think of the story of Job. Job had to lose everything. Job lost his children. Job lost everything. He lost his health, his finances, his children. He lost almost everything. And God restored him, not only with what he had lost, but with 10 times more. And that's what God's going to do for you. I mean, look at my life. This is a person sitting up here who never really preached, who never really prayed, who never really went to church. This is somebody sitting up here who's had to go through so much spiritual growth in order to get right with the Lord. Did I ever think this would be me? No. Did I ever think I'd be sitting here making this video preaching about God, preaching about how God's going to get you through the storm? No ma'am, no ham, no chicken, no turkey. Like, I really, really never thought this would be me. But I'm so happy. Like, God has restored everything that I have lost and given me 10 times more. And I didn't mention this because I don't like to get into it, but I also had a lot of social issues at school my sophomore year. God took me out of school my junior year to keep me away from those social issues. And then those social issues, by the time I went back to school senior year, almost disappeared, went away, because God took care of it. He made a way for me, and he's going to make a way for you. So I want you to take away this. Okay, I want you to take away this. This is the main takeaway. You are not behind. You are not stuck. You are being prepared for something greater. You are being prepared for something greater. God is going to use your story as a testimony for what he can do for people. Because look at me. This is coming from a girl who was almost lifeless, to sitting on the same bed that she used to rot in every day, to preaching to a camera about how God restored her and gave her a career that she loves, that gets her up every morning, restored her physical health, restored her mental health, restored her relationships, restored everything and 10 times more in her life. And that is what God is going to do for you. So it is so easy to succumb into doubt. It is so easy to succumb into fear. It is so easy to get upset at this point. But continue, stay in prayer. That's my biggest tip in this. Stay in prayer, stay prayed up, because the devil is going to try to attack you at your weak spots. This might be the perfect time for a spiritual attack, but do not let the devil get that satisfaction. Stay in prayer, continue reading your Bible, and put your trust in God, because God is preparing you for something greater. Comparison is the thief of joy. Do not compare yourself to your peers. Do not compare yourself to those around you, because God is setting you apart. Soon, those same people that you're comparing yourself to are going to look at you and say, wow, we thought she was over with. People used to say that about me. People used to say, wow, we thought she was dead. Not only was I brought back to life, but I got a life I would have never dreamed of, a life I didn't even know to pray for. And that's what God is going to do for you. So keep your head up. Your crown is falling. I know that's I know that's corny, but it's serious. I'm serious. Keep your head up. Continue to stay in prayer and trust God with what you're going through right now, okay? Because he is going to deliver. When has he not? Literally, when has he not? I love you all so much. If you want more advice like this, listen to my podcast, Literally My Life, My Guide to Girlhood, and watch my talk show, The El-Amin Show, for more in-depth interviews with Illinois' top athletes. I love you all so much. I am here to be the big sister you never had. And if you want more content like this, make sure to subscribe to this channel to see more videos like this. I love, 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 love you all. Mwah. And I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.